Hey guys, so DTF is a big thing right now, and many companies have different DTF. Me personally, I got Loclick DTF printer from HTB Runt. I'm super happy with it, and I want to show you one of the process. I have a T-shirt that just come in one of the orders. So I want to show you the process that I do in Photoshop on a t-shirt. This one is going to be a black t-shirt. So I like to do the knockout basically of a color. In this case, I'm going to remove the black as much as possible or all of it. And that gave me two things. Number one, I'm going to save on ink. That's one of the most important things. But for the customer, the most important thing is going to be that the t-shirt is soft. So depending the areas and the amount of black that you're gonna have, this will leave the front of the t-shirt to be breathable. So it doesn't actually feels heavy on the chest or things like that. So it's going to make the t-shirt a little bit better for the customer, better for us on the consumption of ink, and definitely is going to have a softer feel, which is at the end of the day what we're looking for too with a DTF that doesn't look like a big sticker in front. So let's jump right into it. I'm gonna do this on Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, the process might be similar in different other softwares. That's what I use for now, but please leave me comments also if you want to see different other things. This can be applied for different colors, not just black. So let's jump to it. Shop, and this particularly one is the t-shirt that is now being asked. So as you see already, is a PNG. It has some transparency, but this is going to be on a black t-shirt. Because it's going to be on a black t-shirt, what I want to do is remove the black from the text. In that way, this will be actually the fabric of the t-shirt, and it will make it a little bit more breathable. So it's the same process of doing a halftone technique. So what we're going to do here, first of all, I like to duplicate this. So I'm going to click here, and I'll control or command. Control is on Windows, command is on Mac. So J, and I'm going to make a copy. So I'm going to turn this one off. So the second thing, I'm going to create a next layer here, and I'm going to use the eyedropper here to get a black color of one of the letters, and I'm going to fill this. In my case is Option Delete. In your computer might be Alt Delete to fill that back. Now that I have these two, I'm going to select these two, and I'm going to go Command E or Control E. So you merge these two layers, and now you have one layer. So you will say, okay, wait a minute, I need this to be transparent. I want to print a black thing that we want. So we're gonna do this first so you can see how that goes. So now that I have this, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna duplicate this again, because what we're gonna do is kind of destructive, but this is going to be main original B, and the first one is going to be my original. Either, let me change the name. There you go. A. So the first one is the one just open. The second one is my first modification that I'm going to be using, and this is the one that I want to be working on. So first of all, we need to make sure that this is on a 300 dpi. So I'm going to go to image size, and I want to make sure here I'm going to keep the resample off for now, and I'm just going to go with the resolution. So I want to say 300. So this is the 300 I need. So this is going to give a resample on this one. So now that I have this, right, I'm not sure if this one is also 300. I believe when you do it to the whole canvas, just to make sure. Yeah, this is a whole canvas, so that's fine. So this is my file. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create this. There is a sandwich or hamburger menu here. I don't know what I say, sandwich. So I'm gonna go and create this as a convert to a smart object. So now it's a smart object. Because it's a smart object, I can double click this and it will open like a second basically file. So now I'm gonna go to image mode in grayscale. So it's gonna ask me if there is any other kind of adjustment or whatever to discard it. Yes, go ahead and do that. Now I have this image. So what we need to do here is try to work with basically the levels. So what we want to make sure is that the white is going to be solid in a way, and the black is going to be clear. So I'm gonna bring up the level, so it can be Control or Command L, or you can go to the image adjustment levels. So you have this. So the first part of the input, you see the white is the very far right, the blacks are the very far left. So I'm gonna bring the white all the way down, and you'll see now in the image what is going on. It is bringing up all the solid that I want to keep on the image. So I'm gonna call this a good balance. I want to set OK. Now that it's there, I want to go to image, and I want to change this to a bitmap, and it's gonna ask me to flatten the layers. I'm gonna say go ahead, OK. The output is going to be still 300, and I'm gonna use that option to say halftone screens in case there is any kind of a blur or any kind of a transparency on the white. This will create a halftone dots. Okay, so 300 dpi or 300 pixels is fine, and in this part is basically the size, the frequency, and the angle. It's going to be basically the size of these halftones going, like the dots going to the minimum size. So 30, 35 works usually for me on this. So I'm gonna do a 35, and I'm gonna hit OK. So now that I have that, if there is any transparency or anything like that, it will create. I'm just going like super crazy with the zoom. It will create it there. So now I have that. I'm gonna select all and Control A or Command A. I'm going to copy, Control C or Command C, and now I'm going to go back to my original. So in this original B, that is the one that I create, I'm gonna turn off the layer. That's the one that I work on. I'm going to create a mask. The mask is underneath is the square with a circle. Create a mask. I'm going to select the mask holding down Alt or Option on your Mac, and I'm going to paste this image. So now this is a image with the transparency or the clear. So all the black was basically removed perfectly. So you can actually now, for example, I can create a layer, blue layer, if you want to. I'm gonna fill this. So you will see that now the dots, the text, and everything is see through the blue. In this case, I'm gonna use it like it is. The next thing that I want to do here, and just because I found that is not important, but I like to do it like that because I don't like to work with this too much. I can bring it to the edges, but I usually like a little bit of margin. I learned that on the bleed, basically when I do things for printing. So that's gonna be the image that I'm gonna be using. So now we just export this to a PNG. So there's multiple ways to export it. You can go and export it as a PNG, quick export as a quick PNG. That usually works pretty well, and you select where it's going to be. And that's it. This is basically ready to print. You gotta remember on your printer, just flip the image and make sure that this image is going to be readable once you do the DTF. So I'm gonna send this file to the production computer, and we'll see what I do on the RIP software and everything to get this on a shirt. So be right back. Okay, so the printer has been off since yesterday about noon or something like that. So I'm gonna go through the whole process, what I do when I turn it on, the cleaning process that I do before printing, and how I go to print something. So let's turn this on. If I can find the switch. There it is. Okay, so the printer is now going. This is the production laptop where basically I do everything here. So the ink is going to start recirculating, which is good for a minute while I work on the rest. So things that I have to do right now is, number one, I'm going to download the image that we just did on my other computer. And I'm gonna also go to the RIP software. and make sure everything is fine. So the printer is going through the cycle. So I'm going to click on clean, and I'm doing it straight on the screen. You will hear that noise. That's actually the suction motor getting all to the channels of the printer. So let me bring the camera for you guys here. This should be fine. So you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna flip this. So this computer don't have a screen recording, but this will help you to see what I'm doing. So first of all, I always check that on the corner the USB is green and the machine is connected. It finished the clean cycle, so that's good. I'm not going to run an adjustment here, so I'm going to my RIP software, in this case using the RIN software that was provided. So I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to download the other file I sent to myself here. There you go, we have the file now, and I'm going to import that file. So I've been having a little bit of a weird issue with this when I import the file. For whatever reason, sometimes came to the corner like so. So I just need to find a corner so I can basically plug this on the side, and I'm gonna need to check. There is the file. So this is going to be on a medium t-shirt, so I'm gonna need to see the size that this is right now going. So let's see the output size of this image, and it says that it's 10 inches tall. So width should be maximum 8. So this is 12 inches long, which is pretty decent for an image. And a medium shirt is not too wide, so you don't want to go crazy. That's number one. Number two, I have the image here. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring. There's two options here. You can create a barcode and put it underneath, or you can bring another file. And I'm gonna use Matt's color range, the color bar here. That's fine right now, and I just wanted to make it like a lot smaller. I don't need this to be that big, so I just run one cycle, and I'm putting this under because when it prints, this one will come first. So I'm just gonna go here, and this is to ensure that all the colors are actually printing fine. So I recommend always to run it. You don't need to run super big, and this something small will work. So I have this now. Doesn't matter if it's in the middle or not, because the printer will do their own thing. Just make sure that you have enough room to cut it out without ruining your artwork. So there it is. So that's what I have here. So then the spot color, what I do on the spot color is I go based on the image empty. So my spot is going to be image empty basically, and this is going on the black shirt, so I want to use 100% of my white ink to cover and get these bright colors. And I'm using the shrink minus 10 millimeters. That basically does the white covering on the back, like 10 millimeters in. I want to apply this. So this is ready for me, and I'm gonna go print. And I want to show you what I do here. So a couple things here on the printer. So I move my head a little bit a couple times because I found that sometimes when it starts cold, it kind of knock something. Sounds like it's knocking something. So I don't like that. Then the paper. You see the line. There's a little line. So I usually put my paper just a little bit over. Normally the paper will be here on the edge because that's where you cut it. I just retract all that to the line so I don't waste a lot of paper. So we're gonna hit print in here. So again, we have the forward option and the horizontal mirror. So now I just need to hit print, and this is sending to the printer. And here is, so the first thing doing is the color test. That will be just to make sure that my colors are coming fine and the ink is flowing properly. You will see that the white was a little bit behind, not like it should, and that's because it's flushing the system. So that's a good sign once you start getting that rich white part. So let's sit here and let it print and get ready for the glue. Okay, so now that you have this, I just push this down so it comes right to the edge of the cutter. It's a little more, one more, there you go. All right, so here it is, and it's going to glue. So I'm gonna put it here and put a little bit of the glue on it. So I want to make sure that the glue goes all over the place here. You're gonna cover this, pass just a couple times. And shake it. You don't want glue around it. So just a quick inspection and shake it. Okay, so now we have the glue. Before putting this, I'm gonna cut the rainbow that I print. And I wanna show you what happened. So I'm gonna be using the heat press. It's heating up right now to cure the glue right now, but I'm gonna be doing a review of the oven separately. So I'm gonna cut this because I want you to see why it's important to flush the color. So if you can see here, you have some of the glue already, but you can see here in the beginning when it starts printing, you see a lot of the colors going through, so the white wasn't fully covering compared to how it covers on the bottom. So you see here some bleeding, especially here in the yellow. So that is actually helping also to clean a little bit of the nozzle. That is important to print one of these before the main color. You will notice that the crystals that were trapped on the ink, all the little crystals, turns into like a wavy orange skin kind of feel. And I don't know if you guys are able to see it there, but this is already cured and ready for the shirt. So let's put the shirt. We have here the shirt. It has a little bit of little micro things around it that I'm going to remove. And just like when you do or you want to do a vinyl, just a little roller will work fine to take something that you think is going to get trapped on it. So with vinyl and stuff like that, definitely this is a must process. With DTF is not much, but if you see particles that you are not happy, I encourage you to just go ahead and do it. It's not gonna harm anything. So 4 fingers is a good distance. So I'm gonna first look what I'm doing here. I'm just going to make like a little center mark for this on the top to make sure that it goes 4 fingers. I want to say like 3.5 because I have fat fingers. Here we go. I want to make sure that it's centered with the rest. So that's where it's going to be. Then we put our sheet. I want to make sure that it's straight before we put the sheet on it. There we go. I have the straightened supervisor on my shoulder. So we're gonna put this one here. And this is going to be in this for 10 seconds. And I wanna do 320. So remember, this is a cold peel, so we're gonna leave this to cool down. This is basically there in the shirt. So we're gonna just leave this to cool down and be right back. All right, this is already cold, so I'm gonna go and peel it just like that. And here we go. It's a nice, it's elastic, and it feels fine.